So please remember to celebrate the day when you became a member of this institute, because this is a degree which you are getting out of your own efforts, out of your own hard work. You have moved mountains to come here. No one has done paper chasing. No one has allotted you grace mark. You didn't get the question paper in advance. There's nothing called as reservation in this institute. It is pure merit, and merit alone, dear parents, that your child is a chartered accountant today. And as the president said, many of your parents would have shed tears of joy, even you also, that I have qualified. When you have told yourself something that yes, I am capable of this. I am capable of qualifying the most toughest examination. That is what they call. For us, it is not tough because you are qualified. But people say that chartered accountant, because the day you want to enroll for this course, 5 of your friends will go away from you. Don't mistake me. Correct? Someone is clapping. That means yes. They'll go away. What you are doing CA? Hardly 10 people pass out of 100. Those days when I cleared, only 2 passed. Today it is 10. So people go away, people move away. Relatives will say, CA படிக்கிறாங்க எங்க கல்யாணம் நடக்க போகுது. CA முடிச்சாதானே. Am I right, parents? All of them are telling. முடிச்சாதானே கல்யாணத்துக்கு பார்க்குறது. எப்போ முடியும்னே தெரியலையே. We don't know. But remember, your hard work, your patience, your perseverance, your prayers, and above all, the confidence which your parents had with you, in you. Unlike in the West, when you complete the school, you are on your own. But here it is not like that. Your mother will wake up before you wake up. Your father will just peep through the door whether what the child is doing. What is happening? Is he or she comfortable? Your mother will time what they say, they'll ensure that you have lunch, you have breakfast, you have dinner, you have snacks, everything, isn't it? This is the most special day in your life. So celebrate this day, the day when you became a member of the institute, the day you got the result. All of you remember the date? I remember July 14, 1995. I got my result. I passed both the groups. I was just standing in shock. Arey, how did I pass? First that, and second is both the groups. My God. That shock many of you also would have had. But then that shock is to celebrate. That shock is to rejoice. That shock is to distribute sweets. And this enthusiasm should continue till the day you breathe. And today, Convocation, November 4th, it's a very important day. You know, this day tells you that hard work pays. Why? 2 examples I'll tell you. On this very same day, the draft constitution of this great country, this great nation, was placed before the Constituent Assembly by Dr. Ambedkar. A person who was not acceptable to the society, the then society. A person who came up from the most bottomest part of the society that you can call. And look at what glory he created, Dr. Bhimarao Ambedkar, the father of the Indian Constitution, the man who gave this constitution to this great nation. Of course, there are many along with him, but then he was the chief. Like today, Sri Priya is the chief of the convocation today. We are all supporting her. That's why she is made to sit in the center. You have observed, my name was there. I said, no, I should sit here because you are the boss today. She is the boss today. And the second example. Today is the day when a person with African origin, a person who the white skin will always keep them away, and a person from the land of Abraham Lincoln went on to become the President of the United States of America, Barack Obama. I mean, these are stories which tell that hard work pays. These are examples before us that patience and perseverance will be able to achieve anything. Few of you, I can't say all of you, should one day occupy this chair which we are occupying. You must provide leadership to the institute. I become chartered accountant, enough. I'll make good money. You will make. If you want to make money, you will make. If you don't want to make money, you will not make. That is what the CA blesses you. You can have the best of the vehicles, best of the homes, you can have everything that is best. But it is you who have to choose that. Becoming a chartered accountant is fine, that is to yourself. But after a few years, you'll have to give back to the society what the society has given back to you. To this institute, what the institute has given back to you. You must become a speaker, an author, a writer, taking part in institute's activities, guiding the next generation. And above all, remember, there are times when you may feel very dejected because something is good is not happening. Never lose your self-confidence. Be brave, be bold. And this degree gives you a broad canvas to work on. You can do whatever you want to do. Do whatever you want to do. But remember this institute. Remember that you have a duty towards this institute. And remember always that you will one day become a leader. Wherever you are, you must lead. Either you lead in the institute or in your workplace or as a practice when you are in practice. A lot of opportunities are there. So with these remarks, wishing you all the best. Sincere greetings to all your parents, grandparents, brother, sister, niece, children, whoever has come here to watch you this convocation. Best wishes. Thank you very much.
Thank you, sir, for your inspiring and bringing unwavering positivity in our newly qualified members. I now kindly request CA Shri Priya Ma'am, Central Council Member of ICAI and Convocation Coordinator to address the gathering.
This must be all the good work that RK and Panaraj have done. So thanks for this applause. CA Rajendra Kumar, my colleague and collaborator at the Central Council. Members of the Regional Council, Revati, Rekha Umashev, Rajesh Sivraj, who's come here all the way from Pollachi. A very eminent IAS officer we have in the audience, Madam Maheshwari. Parents that I see. Most important statement of the day. Ladies and gentlemen, and the few babies that I see in the audience here today. So here's a very, very hearty good morning to all of you. And on behalf of the Institute of Chartered Accountants of India, I take great pleasure in extending a very, very warm and a very hearty welcome to each one of you to this convocation event here today. I'd like to start with this really huge round of applause. For whom? For the parents in this audience today. So may I, if it was not just such a crowded auditorium, I would have suggested a standing ovation. And I truly know this as a parent, how it feels, because my son convocated last time. So brilliant. I'm so happy. Super proud. And so, boy, this is like a goosebump moment for me. You may take your seats. So, President Aniket Talati started with the words, wow. So I'm going to start with another word, which I'm sure all of you use all the time. Any guesses? Starts with C is one word and B is another word. It's chill, bro. Anything happens in the house, I'm told, why don't you take your plate and leave it? It's like, chill, bro. Why are you not studying? Chill, bro. So my biggest statement to all of you after having passed CA is not congratulations, it's chill, bro. So, and like RK has these things that he feels very nice about, I still get very scared. Sometimes I wake up with a nightmare and the costing lower. I got only 38 on the Madri. So, and trust me, this will, because I got 41 and 44 in costing and accounts, but I still managed to clear that attempt. So I'm very thankful and I think God was very kind. So I have a bounden responsibility to make a short speech. So I thought I'd just present before you 3 perspectives. Just 3, would take maybe a maximum of 7 to 8 minutes and then we can wrap up. So the first thing is India is on a path to becoming a 5 trillion economy by 2025. I think it's amazing and incredible to be in India at this point in time. And what is it that's driving this $5 trillion growth is something that's very interesting. One, there's policy initiative. Great, it has to be there, right? You have MSMEs coming up, you've got policies for Make in India, you've got the PLI schemes, you've got a huge amount of policy initiative activity that happens to drive a country, which is fairly logical. The second most interesting thing that I see is the pace of digitization in India. There is, I don't think, any other country in the world that is digitizing at a pace that India is digitizing today. Look at the way we handled COVID. When the rest of the world was struggling to handle COVID, here we had, and we still have a COVID portal that would tell you how many got vaccinated today, at which center, how much. It's just an example. India is the most populous democracy in the world at 144 crores. We have 136 crore Aadhars, 120 crore internet connections, 114 crore mobiles. We have 80 crore internet users, 65 crore smartphones. I think the pace of digitization in India is both dramatic and transformational. Now, what's really interesting is there's no other country in the world that has a stack named after it. What's the stack called? India stack, right? There's no other country in the world that implemented a jam stack, a Janadhan, Aadhar, mobile, to enable a seamless consent layer for financial transactions. All these significantly fortify the economy. So what's in this for me as a chartered accountant? The most important thing is we need to stay digitally connected. So don't think I finished my CA. I think there's a huge ocean of learning that you need to embrace, which is digitization. And in both of these, the third most important pillar for a country's growth is governance. And I'm exemplarily proud to be here and to be part of ICAI today in this country for the kind of governance that this government does today. Previously, in India, it used to be, you show me the person, I will show you the law. It was all, kind of very flexible. But today, we have acts with teeth. We have regulators with teeth. We again have a huge pace of digitization that's happened in the governance space. Whether it's the GST portal, whether it's the income tax portal, whether it's the MCA, that's today transformational, absolutely transformational, because they've come up with a version 3 of their MCA portal where you do your filings. 2 days back, on October 27th, I think India did something that no other country could have dared to do. We created a format where shares of all private limited companies, except for small companies, have to be dematted. Imagine the kind of struggle that the country is going through to curb black money. Today, all ownership becomes transparent. There are no more opaque beneficial ownership structures, etc. Now, in this process of governance, what does a country do? Now, can somebody sitting right at the top say, okay, I'm going to govern this country well? Governance? No. They create institutions. What are the institutions we have? We have an institution called RBI. We have the entire institution of the administrative service, the IAS, the IPS. You have institutions such as SEBI. That's the market regulator. You have institutions of the company secretaries, the cost accountants. You have the IRDA, and you have ICAI. In this ICAI's path, I think what's really important is I wouldn't single out any institution as being very relevant in this context of growth more than ICAI. See, we're an autonomous body. We've been created by an act of parliament. And we as chartered accountants are expected to be at the cutting edge of trust and integrity. Why? Because after everything gets over, an LODR compliance is met, this is done, all the boxes are ticked. The final person who takes the call on true and fair is a chartered accountant. I think that's the glory, that's the pride that's been bestowed on a chartered accountant. With this autonomy or independence also comes a great responsibility. Now you might ask me, see, I am joining as an assistant manager somewhere. Does this really matter to me? It's okay, but I think it's very important. Each one of us, and I actually repeat this, each one of us must try and do ethical business. It's not important. See, and today money will definitely happen. So you don't need to worry at all. But today if you take a choice and say, look, I want to be a practicing chartered accountant. I want to be somebody who's approving a transaction in a company. Then please do it to the best of your knowledge, ability, and integrity. This oath is not just what you write on a piece of paper. See, and what really hurts? There's another problem here. So if somebody makes a mistake, they say somebody makes a mistake. But when a chartered accountant makes a mistake, they say, see, chartered accountant is making a mistake. The entire institution starts taking that responsibility. So that's my request to you. Now, in terms of the second perspective, which is personal, so it's fairly simple. Stay curious. There is life before CA, life after CA. The nice thing about life after CA is you can read whatever you want. You don't have to read, for example, I stopped studying income tax after my CA, so I just don't know anything. So you can study what you want, you can read what you want, stay curious, write. I think today there's internet, so like they say, the WhatsApp university. With the internet, you can start. In fact, I'd be very happy if each of you can start a blog today and start writing. Write something. There's so much to write about, to share, to learn. Be connected on social media. How many of you here have a LinkedIn profile? Brilliant. Brilliant. That's very nice. For those of you who are not on LinkedIn, get into LinkedIn. I think it's a little more useful than those wonderful pages that you see on Insta. But Insta is a pleasure and a privilege too. So, and the fourth thing is do what you love. It's very easy to say this. In the first 5 years of your career, it's very difficult to get a job that you like and things like that. So I have a small tweak. You just start loving what you're doing. And you don't measure this. I find this very surprising. I talk to a lot of youngsters. They say, I need to have work-life balance. I tell them, boss, work-life balance is not this week. When the Monday to Friday work, panta Saturday, Sunday. I said, work-life balance is what you measure over a period of time. First 5 years you work very hard, and the balance happens. So that's what it is, and that's the only thing I'd like you to sort of remember. Don't measure your employment by, week and week off, week and week off. Just take it a bit more focused. And I have a slightly different perspective from, what a lot of people may have. See, the CA degree is a privilege. It's a luxury. Why? Because it allows you to experiment whatever you want to do. So I started my career in the industry, and then my son was born. I decided to chuck it all. I took a year off, did nothing. And by nothing, I mean I truly did nothing other than, the babysitting part. And then I went back, I started a practice, and I think I've really reasonably gotten far in life. So if I can do it, I think everybody can do it. What I want you to think is, I would like more of you to become IAS officers. I truly think that's one career that you really contribute to the country, and the kind of social impact that you do is incredible, and I keep advising my own, but it's not yet taken off. I think look at becoming whatever you want. If you want to be an actor, go for it. If you want to be an author, you want to be a poet, you want to be a startup entrepreneur, you want to start a digital company, you want to start a fintech company, you want to do a baker, just go ahead and experiment. Take some time off. You want to see the world, go see the world. I mean, of course, don't go back to your parents for the money, but yeah. But what I'm basically trying to tell you is, this is a beautiful phase of life when you can actually experiment, and when it doesn't work, you can go back to what your CA degree sort of means to you. You'll anyway get a job for 9 lakhs to start with. And so that's my second part of it. And in whatever you do, please be happy. Nothing is worth, killing yourself or stressing yourself or being unhappy about. And remember, in all this, your family is slightly more important than your work. There will be, again, a work-life balance issue. And the last part that I'd like to speak about is something that I think is very personal to me. It's about women. I'm very, very happy to let you know that in this audience, it's almost 50% women who are convocating here today. And I'm exceptionally proud to see that I see all the men applauding. It's very, very nice. So the women, there is actually a small issue here. See, we are 29% chartered accountants are women. 43%, as someone mentioned, the students are women. Now, today's convocatees, 50% are women. In Chennai here and Bangalore as well. Hyderabad is 1/3 only. But when I look at the same group, this focus group 5-6 years back, later, I find that a lot of women tend to drop out. Now, as a woman, I've always found one thing. Lots of people will keep on telling you this. Don't listen to them. People will keep on saying, women breaking glass ceiling, women breaking glass ceiling. No, it's not at all needed. If all the women broke glass ceilings, it will be a lot of glass in this universe. Not worth it. Today, I think what's important is, today, are the women as good as men? Yes, I think they are. Why are women not breaking glass ceilings? Because I think they don't want to. It's perfectly fine. See, today, I might take a call. I didn't want to become CEO of a company because I had to go back to my son and to my daughter. I took 3 years off and did not contest the Central Council election because both my kids were in, one was doing CA and one was in 10th to 12th, and both were not studying. So I really had a problem. So it's really fine. You can caress the glass ceiling and just sit around there. So don't get very bogged down by people saying, you have to rise to the top. You may rise to the top if you want to. But the more important thing is, please remember, you finished the CA degree for a particular reason, right? I mean, I'm sure all of us believe in it, right? The universe just conspired to make sure you became a chartered accountant. And as Arcade put it, it's an extremely exclusive degree. I think all of us, at least the women, need to just remember that part. See, I've gone through the worst and cleared this exam. After this, nothing is difficult. So today, if you want to take a year off, you take a year off. You want to do part-time, do part-time. You want to work 2 hours a day, do 2 hours a day. You want to become a teacher to teach somebody CA, do it. The only thing I'm trying to tell you is, it's very important you stay connected to the profession. Because over a period of time, you'll really get bored otherwise. In 1 year that I took off, I was like really bored, and it doesn't help the domestic peace actually, to have a bright person sitting at home doing nothing. So, the most important thing here that I'd like to talk about is to just pace yourself better and never, ever give up. So I think that's what I want to tell the women. And today, do I take it from all the women here in this audience that you will just stay floated and continue in your profession? Do I get a yes? It's not loud enough here for a 50%. Can I have the men as well? Yeah. And the only other tip I'd like to tell the women is this. See, I find, it's obviously written, people have written loads about what I'm going to tell you. I find the men network extremely well. I have a spouse at 55 who still goes back to his school classmates and they stay connected. He passed out of a school called Vidya Mandir. And they still meet every month, twice, thrice, Saturdays, etc. But I don't stay in touch. I find that women hardly network. You know, and I think it's very nice for women to be inspired by stories of each other. I think this is something that I'd like to tell this audience. If you're there, ensure that you do your Friday night out. What's the big deal? Yeah? Let's have a girls' night out Saturday, whatever. So I think that's very important for women to stay socially connected with each other and network. So with these kind of 3 perspectives that I'd want to set. 1, India is growing and so should you. 2, personally, whatever you do, just make sure you're sort of the best and you like what you're doing. And the 3rd is my special piece of request for the women. Just stay afloat. And RK had mentioned, you need to be there in the council. I'm saying, maybe we'll have 6 women presidents in the institute in the future. Who knows so. And so with these few words, very, very honored, delighted to be here hosting you. And thank you very, very much once again. Thanks.
Thank you, ma'am, for your enlightening words.